This is the tiniest tech that you'll actually want to carry every day. So the goals are simple. We've had to find gadgets that cover every possible situation. Each one has to provide a high-end experience, but in the most compact way possible. If something needs charging, it charges with USB-C, because it's just easy. And everything is black or silver, because it looks stealthy AF. And they were the only colors we could get it all in. So let's start small and just keep getting smaller. Believe it or not, every single thing on this table will actually fit into this one tiny sling bag. Beginning with something that's typically pretty hard to reduce in size. Water. This pocket flask from Labo Mono is my absolute favorite right now because it holds 250 mils of drink. It doesn't leak in the slightest. If it did, we'd have a bit of a problem right now. Thanks to this valve that needs you to bite down on it. And the more you drink... Chug. The smaller it gets, folding up to literally a quarter of its original size. But smaller still is our power bank. This tiny thing here from Unbiased, I think, has to have the greatest size-to-output ratio of any compact battery. So the thing's barely bigger than an AirPods case. It delivers 45 watts of power, which is just enough to also be able to charge most thin and light laptops. Has a braided USB-C cable built in to do that, with an extra port to stick a second cable in. And it has a 10,000 milliamp hour capacity, which might not sound all that special. If you search on Amazon for the best mini power bank, you'll almost definitely find one with apparently similar specs and 1,000 glowing reviews. Like this. Also, supposedly 10,000 milliamp hours. But they're kind of lying to you. And to show you what I mean, I drained 2 identical phones completely flat and then plugged them in. The left phone into our Unbiased, the right one into our Amazon power bank. And both managed to get the phones to exactly 55% after 20 minutes, which is great. But while that process drained the Amazon brick all the way till 56% remaining, Unbiased still had 74. That's a colossal difference, especially considering the quoted capacities are the same. So we'll bag this, and don't cheap out on your power banks, because there are differences in the quality of battery in terms of how much energy they waste, and even whether the company is quoting the rated max capacity or the typical usable capacity. But it's the charger we found that I'd say is really testing the limits of compact engineering. This thing seriously blows my mind. Because even like 2 years ago, I'd have told you this is the best 3-in-1 wireless charger. It has your phone on top, your earphones just behind there, and then watches with this little sidearm. But now, look at this. The Cooksu X40 Turbo, which I would say is genuinely less than 1/3 of the volume, still charges all 3 things, and this is Qi 2.2 wireless charging, so 25 watts of power instead of 15. The only way something like that's possible is to just not waste a millimeter with this design. And everything we've tested from Anker and Belkin currently is still just bulkier with no extra benefit. And then to power the thing, the smallest 65 watt brick in the world from Rolling Square. Just to give you an idea of how insane that is, this is 65 watts. This is the latest 70-watt charging brick from Apple. Just like the wireless charger, this is basically the theoretical limit with current tech for how tiny you can go while still being high performance. And obviously that's with the absolutely enormous UK plug on the end of it. The US version is even tinier, although also worse for reasons that are not up for debate. And I'm pairing that with the Nomad USB-C charge key. This tiny keyring supports up to 240 watts of power and 10 gigabits per second data transfer. And the tips are magnetic, so they snap together. I don't think there is a tinier, more hassle-free way to always make sure you have full-speed USB-C with you. It's just dawning on me how many more products we have to still fit in here. Thank goodness they are getting increasingly minuscule. Like this is our towel from Matador. It's basically made of a nanofiber that can absorb a lot more than it looks like. It's actually absorbent enough that if push comes to shove, you could use this tiny thing to dry your whole body. Yes, I've tried it. No, that footage will not be making it to YouTube.
You behave, baby.
But just to give you an idea, this is the company's full-size towel, which also does not take up a lot of space. Really not exaggerating when I say full size. So this is 200 mils of water. We'll fold this towel up, stick it in. Let's come back to that in a bit to see how much liquid it's picked up. Now, one piece of tech that is practically impossible to miniaturize effectively is the speaker. Because as a general rule, the smaller the speaker, the less air it's going to be able to push, and therefore the less thump it's going to be able to create. But the One Vibe Go from Momax is, in my testing, the absolute best compromise.